Friends, the country was glued to the various TV sets. Glued, absolutely transfixed, mesmerized, in a weird kind of a catatonic obeisance to an event that means nothing. However, it was good to see children at least outside, families and friends. We were looking out windows and saw the Intrepid had children there. We saw on top of roofs children and people getting their lounge chairs to look, to wait. This is the day we've been waiting for. And as soon as I am told that everybody is a part of this, that I'm supposed to care, I don't care. As soon as everybody does anything that looks routinized, I am not a part of it. We had on, I was looking, I said, I wonder what Fox News is having. Michio Kaku. I think it was the same thing. It was nothing. Some of the dumbest, most mindless commentary. And I know it was good. But there is something in me that whenever somebody says, this is what we're going to do, this is what you're going to do, this is what you will adhere to, I have nothing to do with it. I run the other way. If everybody wants to do it, I don't want to do it. If everybody wants to do it, count me out. I'll find something. I don't even know. Here in New York, what was it? 5 seconds? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't have to hear any more about this goddamn warnings about don't stare at it. Don't stare at it. Don't stare at it. Make sure you don't stare at it. Make sure you don't. And the sun is 40 times larger. What is it, 400? Than the moon, which is 40 times. I mean, this, it's like they had one script. It was mindless, but at least kids were outside. At least. And people were saying, well, the clouds kind of obscured this. I said, what about the geoengineering obscuring it? Huh? It's in the news today. What? Geoengineering. Since you care about clouds. What? You don't see the sun because of the what? I live on a planet of children who kind of pretend, sort of pretend, when you have Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was out there telling you all of this nonsense about, well, this is what this means, and this means this, and this means this, and all this kind of jazz, and that's wonderful. Way to go, Neil. Way to go. But can we talk about other stuff too? No. But we're going to dip our toe into the well of science. This is as close as we're going to get. This is it. My friends, stand by. Please subscribe to the channel. Got a brand new live one coming up. A brand new live one from the private channel. Oh, it's a beaut. It's a beaut today. This is a montage, a collage that I do in addition, where I can be a little bit more, dare I say, forceful about the sheer and incredible idiocy of why people just follow things that don't matter. But I will talk about that in a moment. Please subscribe to this channel, Lionel Nation. And right now, my friends, a brand new, critical, 1 week special only. Listen from our friends at preparedness.com. Listen carefully. This is just 1 week. It's no longer a question of if something is coming, it's when. The only shock, the what, the how. While you still have some control, what are you going to do about it? Well, the first step is to go to my website at preparedwithlionel.com. The next step is stocking up on multiple 1-week emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply. Priced at under $50, now's the time to buy in bulk. My Patriot Supply is equipped to help you prepare. They've helped over 2 million families already. These 1-week kits with ready hour foods provide over 2,000 calories every day. And they're sealed inside a rugged ammo can so they can last to up to 25 years in storage. So just grab it and go in emergencies. Get these kits for under $50 this week only at preparedwithlionel.com. That's preparedwithlionel.com. Now, I don't want to be like this. I'm not normally like this, but I am like this. And maybe you're like this too. I have been thinking about this today, talking about so much stuff that matters. See, I don't fit in. This is not important to me. This is just, it's okay. It's the eclipse. So what? Well, it only happens once. A lot of things happen once in a lifetime. It depends. Why do you care all of a sudden about this thing? By the way, this is the link to my LionelMedia.com private channel. I don't understand it. I don't fit in. The stuff that matters to people, nobody cares about. Just no. I mean, it just doesn't. I swear to God, you must know what this is like. This is my life. I'm trying to think of the analogy. And I don't know what it is exactly. I can't figure it out. But the things that are critical right now as we speak, like never before, am I hearing more talk about nuclear war than ever. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yes, you do. Why do you think people don't care about that? They're pushing Putin and pushing and pushing. In Ukraine, they're having this thing where men are marrying disabled women so they don't have to serve in military. I talked to a friend of mine who's Russian. He goes, "This is what's been going on there. They're drafting and conscripting people who used to be called retarded, but we don't use that term anymore. This is how bad it is." And meanwhile, Zelensky's got the money going this way. But we're talking about a goddamn eclipse. This, if ever the epicenter for perhaps nuclear conflagration isn't Israel, isn't the Middle East, it's there. You've got NATO countries, you've got nuclear powerhouses, you've got people pushing them and pushing them and pushing. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. They're itching for a fight. I don't understand. What are you doing? Forget it. It doesn't even enter our discussion. Americans care nothing about this. They know nothing. Oh yeah, that's that Ukraine, whatever. This. Oh no. Unbelievable. What's going on in Netanyahu says, "Oh, we're going into Rafah. Oh, we're doing this right now. We're doing it." Forget it. It's like you watch European, international, British, Russian, French, Canadian, whatever it is, their news, and then our news. And what are you talking about? And we're going out to the eclipse. This is a story This is so good. When Martha Raddatz attempts to talk about the people who die, the dead Palestinians, they talk about body counts, death numbers. They don't talk about any people being killed. They never seem to apportion or to direct any kind of blame on Israel involved in the killing. I'm sorry, they're not committing suicide, of civilians in Gaza. They call it death numbers or no, death tolls, and I mean it's unbelievable. But are we talking about this? No, we're talking about the eclipse. Oh, we're put on our sunglasses. And we're letting Toby and Miranda stay home from school so we can go on the top of the roof and drive upstate to see the eclipse. Why? Because we're mindless sheeple. We are pack animals. We are trained monkeys, dogs, ponies. We're in a chimp pack. We're here. We just jump and we love. And if we're not involved in this, we're involved in March Madness or something else that's mindlessly stupid. Stupid. It's incredible. I mean, it's great. What gets America's attention? The eclipse. Nuclear? No. No. I haven't talked about nuclear war and I don't know. I thought, oh, for Christ's sake, are you talking about nuclear war? What are you talking about? Come on. Not anymore. Not anymore. The election. The election is 211 days away. What's happening with that? I don't know. How's Trump doing? Okay, I guess. Really? Yeah. Did you how's he doing in court? Okay. I guess. All right, I guess. Any thoughts on Trump and his big they're trying to make this big deal this his abortion position. Do you think America cares about abortion? Seriously. Do you think anybody cares about it? Not even close. Not even remotely close. Now, here's some things that are very interesting, and I wanted to bring you up, and I hope you're subscribing to my channel. Here, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed. It's unbelievable. What are we talking about? Well, here's some stuff which is great. The government, I told you, and I did it finally has admitted to geoengineering, but dare not call it chemtrails. Remember a while back, by the way, these are the same people who said, I can't see my sun because of the clouds. Yeah. You want to look at those clouds? Okay. You want to look at those, huh? This is one of these things which I find to be absolutely just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely. This is the thing which I don't understand. And I mean to tell you this. Do you have any idea? You do. But do they? No. This was an example of something which I go, today's eclipse was nothing more than just routinized, let's get everybody together and to look. And if you ask somebody, what is the story about the eclipse? What is the significance of this? What is it really? What is it really? Well, it gets dark for when? Think about this. Ask people, what is it? What is it? Does it really, do you understand what this means? Do you grasp what this means? Do you? Do you understand what it means? What is the significance of this? Is it just the rarity of it? Is it just the fact that this happens this once every whatever? But it's over and it's done or whatever. But what does it mean to you? What does it mean? It's an event that doesn't happen all the time. That for all practical purposes is just kind of, and then probably said, "Oh, this is weird." Okay, right? It's weird, but what does it really mean? I want to find out, what is it that makes somebody say this is also a chance for us to find out what makes people aware. What do we do next? When does America get interested in things? Do you ever think America will care about things that are sprayed? Do you ever think America will care that in warfare now, this lavender project, they're using AI in warfare, targeting human beings and destruction through no, absolutely not. There's some other good news here, and I think people might get this one. This was huge news. Huge news. Please check out this one. Check out Patrice Cullors. This is the BLM co founder who weighs about 9,000 pounds. And she is seen eating like a condemned person for their last meal somewhere near Calabasas. And this person basically walked away from the biggest scam ever and never was once charged with anything. Anything. Charged with anything? Nothing. Nothing. Never charged anybody. No audit. No money. No, nothing. No, with millions. Black Lives Matter. Nobody's interested. But we're on top of a roof looking at an eclipse. Okay? How about this? The family of a Wyoming hunter who tortured a wolf, paraded it around the bar, then shot it dead out the back. He found a wolf, and they wrapped, I guess, a tape around the wolf, and they took it out and they shot it. And they were laughing at this. And this bothers people. Have you noticed this? Have you noticed how somebody says, that's cruel, that's sick? Please explain that one to me. Have you seen this one? Or they'll show a picture of somebody who goes out and they're involved in wild game hunting, and there'll be a giraffe. Like they did this to Don Jr. Remember Don Jr.? Remember that? And they show Don Jr. out with I guess I don't know what it was, a giraffe or something, and boom, and they hold it up and they say this is disgusting, and I'm thinking to myself, why does this animal death bother you, but this one doesn't? This is the one I don't understand. Why we eat animals? Well, that's different. We corral them and we put them in the most inhumane chicken. Well, that's a chicken. We cut their beaks off. We slam them in. They're in their own way. What? I'm not. Listen. I'm not giving you the let's don't eat meat thing. I'm not giving you that. But I'm saying, how is it that okay, you wrapped the tape around the wolf, and you killed it? Okay. What about it? Well, that's horrible. Well, why? What's so horrible about that compared to what we do? I can take you up to a zoo, and we can look at this. I can't even look at this of an ape, some brilliant, majestic, powerful silverback, some great ape or gorilla sitting there behind this glass, just looking at you like, you looking at me? You happy? You want to stare at me? You took me from whatever, and you put me in here so you can stare at me? I'll never understand that. I'll never understand that. But this guy, all of a sudden, or Don Jr., they shoot a giraffe. Okay. Well, it's not like it's okay. How do you differentiate this? I'll never understand that. Why is it If I said to you, hey, you know what's really good food? What? A deer meat, venison. Ooh. Have you had venison? I don't know. Bison burger. I remember years ago there was this. We got this Ted. This what's his name from CNN? Ted Turner. Ted Turner has this bison thing. And I said, ooh, bison. Oh, okay, well, whatever. How about a mule? Ooh. You see how we have these weird things? We have these ooh, kitten. Stop it. Cats can't eat cats. What about squirrel? Well, maybe a squirrel. Duck. Well, duck is good. Chicken. That's good. Pigeon. Squab. Okay, that's different. That's different. Pheasant. Yeah, it sounds okay. Goose. Okay. Hawk. No. How do we do this? We have this. It's not anthropomorphic, but we have this weird sense of sensibilities. It's the most incredible thing in the world. We just do this, and we don't think anything of it. Well, that's good. That's kind of sick. Now, the other good pieces, which I talked about today, which is fantastic. Little by little, we are seeing tremendous changes happening regarding the world of what is and is not considered to be conservative. Conservative. That word is dead. And I implore you to watch a wonderful piece regarding this was done at or regarding the William F. Buckley American Masters. It's very good. Very, very, very good. Very excellent. Okay. And what's really interesting about this is watch what he did to this term conservative, because what we're seeing right now, I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is. There is nothing more confusing than people today who they call themselves Republicans or call themselves conservatives, but they're really kind of sort of not. But anyway. Now, it works like this. I guess this is conservative, maybe not. But two things. The Pope. When the Vatican, one of the most important groups, this is bigger than anything you can imagine. There is a tumultuous change, a weird, a unique cacophony of people who are involved in I guess people that you've got to listen to is, first of all, listen to what Africans say about gay rights, same-sex marriages. Dear God, listen to this, okay? They were furious with the Pope, furious with the church. They don't understand any of this, none of it. Okay, fine. So recently, the Pope signed off on something. I forget the name of it. The Doctalis. This new kind of an encyclical, which basically says no to surrogacy, which is weird. No to same sex is okay, but no transgender and no gender transition. Unbelievable. Okay. This is so big. This is huge. This is enormous. This is gender theory. They don't. Wow. Listen to this. And the White House, Karine Jean-Pierre, who is singularly the most ineffective, vapid, vacuous, void, vacant, insipid, empty shell of a confused nothing. This bemused, rattled, always, has no clue as to what's going on. But she faced questions about Pope Francis's declaration condemning gender theory. And she affirmed President Biden's support for the transgender community. Now, this is important. This is critical. The Pope made the assertion that attempts to alter an individual's immutable gender are ultimately misguided attempts to play God. Okay? Now, this comes in line with right at the same time, this is important. This is important. It comes right at the same time as individuals such as J.K. Rowling and others who are also fighting against this lunacy, absolute lunacy. And she's doing it. She is, more people are for her. Then the latest, which is also important, there is this new sanction, this group. It's not NCAA, but it's for smaller colleges. I forget the name of it. But it finally says enough to transgender. When I see pictures of this Leah Thomas standing there, ready to jump into the pool, this is a man, a 6 foot whatever man, compete against girls. I go crazy. Just like I do when I see people wearing a mask. I see people and I don't know what to do. I see people wearing a mask. I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding. We're losing our mind. So what I'm saying right now is this is important. This is critical. This is critical. And the reason why it's critical is that little by little, bit by bit, my friends, we are making these incredible transitions. We are getting our lunacy erased. Nobody believes this. Nobody believes this. President Trump has got to do this. Listen to what I'm saying. We live in a world where people who enjoy eclipses, that's fun. This is they're children. They don't even understand what the hell this thing means or why it's important. But if that's what you say, that's what we're going to do. Let me go back to remind you of something. And I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to tell you something. We are the same people who all of a sudden overnight decided that we're going to wear tattoos covering our body for reasons I will never understand. All of a sudden, these hideous, grotesque, nasty, low rent, just bestial, dermal real estate, horrible, blah. They did it because somebody said, this is cool now. And they did it. Christos Stavros says, I can't believe that I can't speak my mind here. I don't know what that means, but you can always speak it with here, my friend. Lori Cook says, we're transitioning too. Indeed we are. We're getting, things are changing drastically. And it must be, the president has got to seize the moment. If there is one issue that every American agrees, is that women should not have to be competing against full-grown men in sports. Let me say this again. Forget everything else. I realized today when I saw all these people taking time off to go and to look. I mean, they got out of school. There were traffic jams, Airbnbs. I thought, oh my God, what is this? For a little 1 second, it's to be a part of something. But when it comes to being a part of the voting bloc, when it comes to being a part of the sentient group of people who don't believe in this nonsense, it's a different story. But listen to what I'm saying. President Trump, if you're listening to me, this is the only issue. This is the issue that makes this is it. One issue. Do you think that a fully grown man, 6'4", 200 pounds, should be wrestling your teenage daughter because he decides that his name all of a sudden is Ramona? Do you think that? If you think that, you vote for Joe Biden. Go to the next spot. Do you think, make it to one issue Forget the rest. Forget everything I've said. Forget, geoengineering and nuclear weaponry and Rafa and the Lavender Project and genocide. Forget all that stuff. That's a waste of time. You ask the American people one question. Hi, my name is Donald Trump. Here's my question. Do you think a 6'4" man with balls, actual testosterone generating units, spheres that pump testosterone, talk about PEDs, a 6'4" guy who could pick up who can out bench press the entire girls team should be able to compete, because this son of a gun can't win in the male leagues. So he's going to come in and invade this. And he's being pushed and prodded and paid for. He is the chosen experimenter, the chosen one by these sick bastards who want to change everything. Do you think so? If you do, vote for Joe Biden. If you don't, vote for me. One issue, that's it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's the issue. Nothing more. Nothing less. America is not a complicated country. America is not a complicated country. And here's Joe Biden. He says, I'm for LGBT rights. This has nothing to do with this. This has nothing to do with this. President Biden, do you have any any grandchildren? I think you do. What about that kid? What about the baby mama? Remember the stripper had the kid and whatever the hell it is? Whatever happened to that one? I don't know. They just come and they go. Whatever happened to Kate? Is Kate alive? I don't know about that. I don't know. Kate? Oh, yeah. We forget. Lori Cuck's rearing to go. She said, I couldn't super chat baby swimming this morning. I couldn't super chat baby swimming. Oh, I'm sorry. Super. I don't know what that means. Edie Crowley says the swim mates, ladies, had to resort to changing in the janitor's closet. Incredible. Christo says MAGA 2024. Arcadia. Oh, look, this is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, let me see this. Arcadia? Arcadia, it means guts, courage, valor. This is interesting. You always learn something from you, my friend. Always learn something from you. You're one of the first ones I met, Mr. Stavros. We're the first ones ever. You've been with me since the beginning. The honey man gave me honey, peppered honey, hot sauce. Let me throw something your way. It's called puckered butt. Have you tried this? This is Pepper X stuff. Oh man, how? In any event, there are some things that just make sense to me. Do you remember what is the greatest commercial of all time? Let me tell you how it works. The greatest commercial of all time is a commercial that tells you what it is they're trying to sell. That's simple. What is it's something that has there was when I was, I don't know how young I was, but remember this 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Boom. We wanted to say that. Like, hey, can you say that? I sure can. Why are we doing Big Mac commercials? Just like we did the 7 Dirty Words. We just love to do this. One of the greatest commercials ever. Lori says, look up baby swimming fascinating. Christo's having problems chatting. I think he's doing a wonderful job. But by the way, Christos, remember what our good friend Sparky teaches us. When you have a word that you don't use, just put a space between it. I don't know why. I don't understand why. And you're not even cursing. You're not even cursing. You know what I saw today, Lori? This is something. By the way, thank you. I was watching a show. I liked it I think it's called Useful Idiots. And it was Lori Halper and Aaron Mate. Katie Halper. Katie Halper. It's very good, very funny. And these people were, it was a live broadcast, and people were chatting, and when they would give super chats, and they never even said anything. It's like they were talking, and people were saying, "Hey, here's $5, thank you." Nothing. It's like, okay, whatever. Hey, Aaron, what do you think about this? And it's, excuse me. At least, I mean, you can't sit there and read everything. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, keep c, omega, or phi, chi, psi, omega. Christos asked me about the Greek of alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, psi, omega, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. Yep. We had to do that. I did that when I was like a kid. When I was a kid, I told you the story. My cousin was in college. I was a kid, and he was like this: alpha, beta. He had a match. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, he was pledging sig up, sigma phi epsilon. I'm gonna say you better. And I said, "Well, what are you doing?" He said, "I've got to memorize the Greek alphabet, and I've got to be able to do it to a match. I've got to be able to say the Greek alphabet to a match." And he was going nowhere. So I went home. I have a Webster's dictionary, this brown one. Opened it up, and they had the Greek alphabet. Alpha, beta. I just do the capitals. I'm not lowercase. I'm not good. But alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, pi, sigma, tau, epsilon, phi, chi, psi, or phi, keep c, whatever, omega. Okay? Ta-da. And my friend Ralph, who's now a doctor, we would send, he did it too. I told him, I said, you want to learn this. Where's the beef? Not now, Lori. Not now. Kidding. So we would send letters to each other. And one time, Sister Mary Agony guy says, "Let me say that." And I'm writing him. And we basically were writing English, but using, words, whatever it was. In any event. So when I saw my cousin the next time, I said, "Hey, by the way, look at this. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon." And I did it. And I guess he was 19 and I was, 8. And you know why I did this? I did this. I did it because I loved the challenge. And I loved doing it just for the challenge. Just because somebody said, you can't do this. That's all. That's the only reason. But let me go back to what I thought was the best commercial ever. Where's the beef? Okay. Question number 1. Do you know the name of the commercial? When you say, where's the beef? Where's the beef? What was it for? Do you remember what it was? I remember the beef. Everybody said, where's the beef? Where was it? What's the commercial? You got it? I know Wendy's. But does everybody know it? Does everybody know it? If you don't know it, it's a waste of time. Let me tell you one of the greatest ones ever. Mamma mia, that's a summer species. Cat, remember that? What's wrong with that? You made a mistake. Oh, I'm sorry. Mamma mia, that's a some cat. Do it again, Ralph. And then, remember that? And the woman would stand like this. The mother, with the chignon. She looked like Al Lewis, with a wig. And he finally goes through and he goes, Mamma mia, that's a summer spicy meatball. And then the door of the oven falls off. Now, people loved it. What was it for? It was for Edward Arruda, gets it right. It was for Alka-Seltzer. But people didn't know. I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Shut up, Ralph. I can't believe I ate the whole. Are you sure you know it? If you can't say, the best one to me was show us your lark. Something that tells you specifically what the commercial is. It's got the name in it. This is the commercial. Don't waste any time. No cute stuff. I can't believe. Tell me what the commercial is. Buy this. This is the best. I gotta have this. Buy this. Show us your lark. Remember that the commercials? They actually showed commercials. What would be plop, flop, fizz, fizz? Oh, what a relief it is. Remember the Alka-Seltzer? Remember that one? You're bringing this. This is the ancient Chinese secret. What was that? That was a Calgon or something. That was so ancient Chinese secret, huh? Remember Madge? Remember that Madge? Where people would go in and go, "What is this?" And she would put was it Madge? She put your hands in soap. It's like, what is this? This is good for your hands. I'm paying you how much for a manicure? What are you doing? Putting the quicker picker upper. Palmolive. That's right. See? That's very good. But you know this. The commercials during the 70s were so good. Somebody said racist. Remember Mrs. Olson? She always had in her bag a big thing of Folgers coffee. Somebody said, "We're out of coffee." I happen to have and she had like this industrial thing. The best one ever was she went to a black hip kind of a backyard barbecue party, and Mrs. Olson shows up. I don't know who invited her, but they're dancing and say somebody, and they were all so fun. Damn, we ran out of coffee. All of a sudden, hey, this and there, Willie, here's some coffee. Thank you, man. And I think, wait a minute, hold it. Willie? What is this? Whenever there was a black introduction of anything, it was always the most stylized form of negritude. It wasn't racist per se, but it was over the top. And everybody who was, I'll never forget this, it was a great comedian. I don't know who it was, and I would give credit, but he said everything was super rhythmic. When it was like a McDonald's commercial or something, the black guy would come to the counter and say, "Gotta eat, gotta move my feet." Always dancing, always happy, always like, what is this? Can't they just be like regular people? But it was the introduction. Who knew now? By the way, have you noticed this obligatory biracial stuff? Have you seen this? Remember every commercial, Verizon, this or that, there was always biracial, multiracial, biracial family, black husband, black, whatever it was, every single one. And here's the best part. They started to introduce transgender, but you didn't know. So you say, hey, and is that? I don't know. Don't say anything. Okay. Because transgender didn't necessarily have the immediate ability to detect it. Is that a very masculine looking woman or a rather feminine look? I don't know I don't know, was whatever. So we don't know. Everybody else you can say, oh, black guy, Chinese guy, Asian guy, got it. Black woman, man, trans, not sure. So nobody knew what inroads, and if they were two did you see the public defender recently? Did you see this monstrosity, this public defender wearing the fake with a face that looked like Bruno Sammartino with a wig? Did you see this one? Come on. We're over that. I got news for you. We are over that. Who wants a nice Hawaiian punch? Wes Inman, ladies and gentlemen, a maniac. My baloney has a first name, it's OSCAR. My baloney has a last name, it's MAYER. Oh, I love to eat it every day, and this is what I want to say. Because Oscar Mayer has a way with BOLOGNA. Remember that? Hey, how about a Hawaiian punch? Is that? And he knocked my block off. He knocked my. It was Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Remember that? Oh, hey, you got peanut butter on my chocolate. You got chocolate on my peanut butter. Jack. What was the guy's name? Jack. Oh God, he was that great comedian. Ronnie Graham was another one. Remember? Hey guy. He opened up the medicine cabinet, and there was a not Ronnie Graham. Anyway. Tang went to space. Listen to Johnny Pittman. Johnny takes us there. Tang went to space. Dr. Murph says Lionel is so cheerful. This sounds like a um I'm not here, by the way. I'm not getting that. So I'm not getting that. Let me do this before I forget while I get this phone, because it might be somebody. I've got a friend of mine in the hospital. I'm going to see if it's him. This is a very special word from our friends at MyPillow. Well, it's time yet again to hail and salute our great friends at MyPillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you get a free gift. No purchase necessary. I know, a free gift. Gifts are free. Okay, it's a tautology, so sue me. But listen to me and listen carefully. What are we talking about here? Down comforters, flannel sheets, Giza Dream bed sheets, MyPillow 2.0 body pillows, waffle blankets, couch and recliner pillows, sheets, slippers, percales. I'm not even done yet. Towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, pet blankets, bolster pillows, name it. Items to help you luxuriate and relax. And their monster sellers, slippers, my slippers, slip-ons, moccasins. Think about it. What do they do at MyPillow? What's their main goal? To make things real soft, plush, real comfy, or comfy as I say it. How perfect. So here's the link right now. Go to mypillow.com/Lionel. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel or /Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. 800-645-4965. And watch how fast our good friend Mike Lindell answers the phone. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, simply and absolutely the best. Jack Guilford, that's his name. Jack Guilford, that's the Cracker Jack guy. One of the best faces ever. I happened to run across an All in the Family. I can't believe somebody told me I didn't like All in the Family. I thought, oh my God. Lionel Jefferson was the next door neighbor, but in any event, remember there were two Lionels. There was the first Lionel, and then there was the second one in the Jeffersons. And Lionel had an engagement party. And George Jefferson lived next door, Sherman Helmsley. And Louise Jefferson went next door and was trying to tell Edith, listen, I want to invite you, but I don't want to invite Archie. Archie walks in, hears they're talking, he goes, I can't wait to be there. And he's using words like, with George Jefferson, it's mighty white of you, colored guy. I mean, I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking this was 1972. Somehow the world didn't drop. George Jefferson, Sherman Helmsley, uses the N word. He goes, pretty soon you're going to call me an N, and I've got to use the word N, which is the most stupid thing in the world because you know what I'm saying. And I can't even use the word in a quote because this is how stupid we are. Even though I'm not using it as an expletive, I'm using it as a quote from a movie that is currently on TV. In any event, doesn't matter. I'll play that game. And I'm watching this thing. And the moral of this, or the plot of the story is that Lionel marries this woman, this girl, and she is married. Now listen to this. Listen to what I'm saying here. She says, Lionel, have you told your father, George Jefferson, that my father is white? He's marrying a girl whose mother is black, the father is white. And I'm watching this and I said, she doesn't look biracial. And I said, I can't even say that. I'm looking at this as a person who has lived on this planet and knows a little bit about Mendelian genetics. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, I don't think that's whatever. And so they're talking, they're attacking race issues and dealing with it in a funny way. And meanwhile, Archie is portrayed as the idiot. But as I was looking, I was thinking about this. I'm looking at this. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm saying, I don't know. Why? Because I've been around, see? I'm 65 years old, I've been around. When you see Lenny Kravitz, you say, okay. Barack Obama, okay. It's nothing personal. When you see somebody says, my father is Asian. Oh, I can see that. I'm not being racist. I've got Swedish in me. I can see that. And I thought to myself, I want to go back to those times. I want to go back to those times because nobody ever just flattened you because you dared say something. They actually said, well, what did you mean? Did you mean anything bad about it? No. Well, then don't worry about it. You were just making an observation. Well, 50 years from now, you won't even be able to say that. Why? Because they will have you so terrified of saying anything that you won't know what to do. And that's the purpose. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to freak you out. You won't be able to ask the question, as I've been asking, where the hell is Kate Middleton? I still think that's the best question in the world. They just stopped talking about it. She's just gone. They just disappeared her, and you can't talk about it. I want my old days back. I want the 70s back. I want the 70s back and some of the music, but I want the ability to say what I wanted to. Lori says it's cool to watch young black men watch that episode. Yeah. And it's also interesting to see, and again, Lori, I thank you, but it's the intent. Blazing Saddles. We had a sense of humor. We had a sense of humor. May I ask a question? And and women, I don't think know this because I'm sorry, that's not a, how do I say this? That's not a thing. Women don't tell a lot of jokes for what this is, but I think ethnic humor can be some of the funniest stuff if it's clever, if it surprises you. And I have collected over my life, I can't even tell you how many of them. I can't tell you how many thousands of jokes that I have collected. Some are funny, some are not. Some are mean. And it's not that I don't say that because they're just not funny. Funny has got to make sense. This is when we had a sense of humor. We don't have a sense of humor anymore. So let me go back and let me say this to President Trump, if you're listening. I told you before, and I have a very simple motto, a very simple idea for what his slogan should be. And please, I don't want to be scatological, but I will say this. Do you want 4 more years of this shit? That's it. Do you want 4 years? That's it. How bad can I be? You want to go back to that? You don't think I can? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to say, we're not going to have 6'4" men wrestling your daughter or swimming and competing. He's a man. That's a man. He has testosterone. This is ridiculous. I can't believe we're talking about this. What are we doing? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes you can say, for example, biracial. Well, I don't know. Is it a white zebra? Is it a white horse, a black spot, a black spot? I don't know. We can get into and it's a legitimate conversation. What race predominates? But this guy is a man. He's never had any surgery. He's had nothing. Believe me, he's going through full puberty. He's going through no hormone, nothing now. This is a guy with long hair. Come on. Stop it. You're bullshitting me. You're trying to. This is ridiculous. We need somebody to stand up and say, that's enough. Look, America is not the brightest group in the world, okay? They spend their time on top of a roof looking at a thing that they think is exciting because they're told to. It's a solar eclipse, but don't look at it. What the hell am I doing? Well, put the funny glasses on. And now look. Yep, that's it, all right. Why am I doing this? I don't know, because you're a sheeple. You're just a pack animal. You just do whatever we tell you to do. Okay, fine, 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 whatever it is. I don't understand it. I want my country back. I want the America of my youth back. I want the days where we could go to Blazing Saddles and laugh because we didn't mean anything by it. I want the time where we could have black exploitation movies, and it's okay. I want to go back where we had Soul Train. You see, here's the thing. In my generation, we weren't racist in the least. In the least. Music brought us together. Food brought us together. Culture. We didn't know anything about this. Edmund Pettus Bridge was not a part of our vocabulary. Jim Crow was not in my world. I was in the South. I had no idea. It was so weird, and so I remember one time there was a Richard, prior to this, one time he said he wished when he was in school and he came out of the shower, he always wanted to be a white kid and do this, with a piece of hair. He said, if I did this, I'd break my neck. Then we all fell in love with the afro. Laurie Cook says, oh my God, the cicadas are coming. That's okay, Laurie. Take it easy. Thank you. Take it easy. We had do you remember when afros went, there was like, okay, and there was a pick that all the cool black guys had in their back pocket with a fist. It was a black pick that they would use to pick their, and we had, it was mesmerizing. Mesmerizing. Didn't think anything of it other than the fact that that's interesting. It was the most fascinating thing. And nobody thought, they're black. Don't use the N-word. I don't want to use it. I never had. Why would I do that? I didn't understand this. This was my lifestyle. This was my world. Anyway, aside from that, President Trump, you know what to do. Don't talk about abortion. Don't talk about just one thing. Because crime, some parts of the country don't really have crime. Some parts of the country don't really have borders. Just do one thing. Just give people, Americans they can't handle two issues. Don't make them think. Just say, you think a guy with testicles should be able to compete against you? Well, no. Well, if you do, vote for Joe Biden. That's it. The one issue. That's the thing. Ronald Reagan said, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? No. Well, this one is it. You want 4 more years of this? That's it. Period. End of discussion. So let me tell you something. Laurie Cuck, the cicadas are coming. God bless you. It's Christos Stavro. You're a good man, my friend, the honey man. Edie Crowley, thank you, dear heart. Thank you for your kindness and the like. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you subscribe. Also, make sure, dear friends, you follow Mrs. L and listen specifically. Follow them. Follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Also, make sure you see her latest video on debt bondage. Dear God, debt bondage. Because a lot of the people who are brought, in addition to the usual forms of the usual horrors of sex trafficking, are here specifically to pay off a debt. It's an indentured servitude where they have to pay off the debt, and they have to do it in a variety of horrible ways. And nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about this. So please follow her. And also, I ask you, dear friends, don't forget to sign up for me also at Lionel Legal. Okay? Okay. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. It's so good, and it's such a pleasure to be with you. I sincerely mean it. You make my day. Look at this. I forgot to see this. Raul Rodriguez says, I had a pick, but my hair was straight. You know why? Because you were cool. Cooler than anybody ever knew or realized at the time. All right, dear friends. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Don't forget, sign up, Lionel Nation. And in fact, I've got a video dropping a little bit later on. So in the meantime, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya.